And we are live, 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 live. Hello, 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 everyone. Have. What was I going to say? Happy. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Kitty, introduce yourself. I'm just going to make sure we are streaming where we need to be.
I'm Kitty Foss, founding member of Intuition of the Soul, a free platform for learning and meeting amazing people with spiritual gifts, and founder of the class in astrology called Optimize. And it's a class about manifesting and learning how to use your chart and help create the story you want of your life. Is that a little bit longer, at least, Joanne?
There you go. There you go. And for everyone who might be watching through YouTube, hello, hello. Please go ahead and hit that like button and share it out and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. And I'm just gonna make sure we are on Twitter as well because we're on several platforms tonight. I love StreamYard. We get to we get to stream on several different places, but everyone gets to connect with us. Be nice if I could just go right to it and find it. There we go. And for all you Twitter watchers, please go ahead and hit that heart button. Let me know that you are there. And then we're gonna land on Facebook. Facebook land. Facebook land is where we're going to land. So for those of you who might be joining us tonight, let us know that you are there. Say hello, hello, hello. And I'm just going to tag on some folks, see who's around. Maybe we can get some people to listen tonight. Because we have a conversation, a biggie tonight. Right, Kitty? Our title for tonight is the Grand Twine. Action, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm glad I'm the one who wrote the title in. sometimes you just have to giggle. So, Kitty, tell us about all this amazing energy we got going on, and there's a lot, so we're gonna try to get it all in a little bit less than an hour. Let's see.
Yeah, because been an interesting time. We had this full moon that was in Aries, which was a really active full moon. I've heard a lot of people talk about this, the heaviness of it, only because it was sparking our wounded healer. And so it really was about dealing with those, what makes us our authentic you. Right afterward, we came into the 1010 portal, and Mercury moved into Libra. And then on the 14th, which is that tomorrow already?
Is it? No. Isn't today the 12th or today the 13th?
Yes. No, today's the 12th, right?
Yes,
So,
yes.
and then on the 14th, we have this kind of trine that's going on with Saturn, which is all about taking our vision and looking at who we are and the beauty in our relationships. But this grand trine that's happening is really kind of a interesting thing. It is, so a trine is energy that works in the background, but a grand trine is like greasing the slide. It's like the supernova of stars moving. And so in a grand trine in air is really about us creating, because air is also about communication and thought and how we see the world and how we look at patterns. And a grand trine allows us, if we use intention, to really help manifest, really help bring into creation what it is we want our life to be. And if we aren't using intention, then unconsciously we do it.
Yes. And just again, for those of us, those viewers out there who might just really be really new to astrology, just really learning the language of astrology, when we speak about a trine, um, we're speaking about the degrees of the planets that are aligned together. How does that work for us, Kitty? Talk to me
So
about that a little bit.
it's geometry, it's sacred geometry, it's an equal triangle, is what it is. Only this is three major planets. And so the 3 points are at an equal triangle, three equal degrees. So this really is about them having communication, everything being equal, and especially talking in the background. So again, what's important to know about it is your intention. What is it you want to communicate? You want to be seen. And since we just kind of activated this piece of us that is kind of wounded, but we've learned to use it as a tool, this Chiron wound, we all have one, but the one that we activated was about being our really authentic self. And
Yeah.
so it's about starting that. And now that the communication piece into Libra, which makes that communication all the better, we have another grand trine in air, which really is about we can't. Um, Molly McCord called projects are real; they become real. So if your intention about your is known, you can have bring it. It's like sliding into first base, you know. Um, or actually overrunning first base. You don't slide into first base. Sorry. And well, you do too. But it's more about that being able to create it. And again, if you aren't using it with intention, that background communication is taking over. And this week is also the week where we look at the word I keep hearing is dishonesty, but it's not dishonesty as in lying. It's where we're not telling ourselves our real stories, accepting the real parts we want to play and being authentic about it. You know, where am I going to come down on any issue, which not being really clear exactly where I am. And this is getting rid of those things, those stories we tell ourselves that keep us from being who we want to be. Now setting that intention, getting ready to communicate it with this grand trine will help us move our thoughts a lot faster along anything we're trying to manifest, any project we're trying to do.
Yes. And when we think about Mercury, Mars, and Saturn, and I had to think about that just for a minute because prior to jumping on here tonight, guys, I was in my car. So I have to I like to usually have a few minutes before I go live on something just to sort of realign my energy so I can be centered. And I didn't have a chance to do that today. Or tonight, should I say. So I have to like take a pause when I'm trying to say what I need to say here tonight. So we have that Saturn in Aquarius, Mars in Gemini, and then we also have Mercury and Libra. Those are our three air signs. Now, have we?
And we have Venus and the Sun.
In Libra.
Yeah, all in Libra. Yeah.
Yes. So theoretically, we have three planets in Libra, but then we also have a total. We have all three of our zodiac signs, all three of our air signs activated at this very moment.
Yep.
You know, so there, at least from my point of view, it's like this energy of overthinking, over analyzing, and also being very intellectual at the same time, if that makes sense. Yeah. So I know for me, especially for today, I think today's what, Wednesday? I would say probably in the last 7 to 10 days, today was the most productive I have felt in the last 10 days. And when I use the word productive, meaning that I was literally able to take some thoughts from here and literally put it down on paper. Where 10 days ago I was not in that mindset to actually think of anything because I think I just had a lot of other things, moving parts going on, that there was no way I was going to be able to focus on putting anything together. So I definitely feel like today's energy was a little different. And I think a lot of that is because our full moon that was in Aries is no longer in Aries. It's now in Taurus, at least until tomorrow, correct? And then it goes
into it actually moved into Taurus, fairly quickly after Aries, I think. I'm getting my charts out. But yes, it moved into Taurus not too long after it was full. And it's through today. And it goes void of course tonight, and then of course we move to Gemini early in the morning.
Yes.
And then we're going to have Mars. So that's why the Grand Trine exists, because we also already have Mars in Gemini.
Yes.
And so, you know, we've got these we have the Sun we have Venus, we have Mars, our daily energies, all about thinking. That's what this is about. And again, if you aren't actively during this time kind of bringing forth what your tensions are, or at least sorting out honestly what is it I really want to do, how is it I really want to live, subconsciously things start to projects start showing up. So it's a really powerful time, but it's also a time where you can be attracting things that you're not exactly expecting.
Yes, yes, I totally get that. Totally get that. And I know for me, like for tonight, I got to do a workout in a totally different environment that I'm used to. Went to a different gym tonight. My daughter invited me to go to her gym, worked out there. And I usually like to grade gyms that I go to. And let's just say this particular gym that I went to tonight is not really going to get a very high grade because I'm very spoiled. And I have this whole mindset as for many years um, being responsible for cleaning up a gym. It's very important to me that the equipment is where it needs to be. So when someone else goes to want to use it, they can find the weight that they need to find, a dumbbell that is. It literally took me 10 minutes to try to find a match to one dumbbell.
Oh,
and then,
wow.
And eventually I was like, okay, well, can't find a match. So I'm going to have to get a little creative here and just do this exercise with just one dumbbell as opposed to two. So I definitely got my creative juices flowing tonight. You know, as Kitty was saying, things might show up that you may not want to show up. Was not really looking to do a single arm military press, but rather than sitting around trying to figure out where the damn weights were, I'm like, okay, what can I do with the one weight that I have right now? So it was quite interesting.
Well, and to me that kind of fits. You set the intention, I'm going to do this. I just have to figure it out differently.
Exactly. And thank goodness that I have the expertise to be creative enough to say, okay, well, rather than I already spent 10 minutes trying to find a pair to that weight, and it was nowhere to be found. Someone said to me, oh, you could probably go check in the stretch area. It might be over there. I'm like, well, I looked at my daughter. I'm like, well, where's the stretch area? She goes, the other side of the facility. I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to work with what I have right now and hope for the best. So, you know, so I would definitely say I was feeling and being in this amazing energy that we are in. So, in addition to this Trine energy that we have going on, and the fact that we just had that amazing 1010 portal. Yesterday we had the 1011 portal, which is that master number. Today I classify this energy as a portal as well because of that 12 energy. And we're going to be moving into a 22 portal, which is about how we build what we want to build with this amazing energy. Bringing thought into, and also like Kitty says, in regards to what stories are you telling yourself? And perhaps could this be an opportunity for you to let go of that story that may no longer really match or might be hindering you from actually stepping into doing something better? And I also think that this energy is a really great time for people to work on reevaluating their boundaries. You know, what are you willing? I actually said this to a client today. What are you willing to accept from somebody? And what are you no longer willing to accept from somebody? And this is an opportunity to write it out. Get really super clear. So if you, what things you want, what things you don't want. And this is an opportunity to start changing that up so you can actually start to see changes going on as you start telling yourself a different story. And then, so let's see, not this weekend, but next weekend. Next Sunday, right? Next Sunday is the first day of school.
Yeah. And that's a busy day because we have, so we've got Venus in Libra, that moves into Scorpio. We also have Saturn in Aquarius come direct. And so it's this Saturn is the planet of structures and boundaries, just what you were just talking about. And we're in its last little stretch internally that's helping us restructure. And part of this restructuring right now is that grand trine of communication. How am I speaking to myself? How am I dealing with my own thoughts and how I create, how I manifest? As Abraham Hicks would say, how I interact with the vortex, how I receive. And you can move it really quite far along at the moment with intention. So whether the intention is mantras, whether the intention is in meditation, whether the intention is getting the physical exercise that aligns, this is a great time to move any of the thoughts around that help us do all of that. And then so we have the structure that's happening right now that's coming back direct then to help us even create it more densely, more manifesting, because then we go into quite the couple weeks, and we'll definitely be on before then, because we have Jupiter, which is retrograde, revisiting the end of a 12-year cycle. So it's revisiting those things to make sure we're taking them forward in this new cycle, which when Jupiter will turn around to go back into Aries. So we'll be going over that same section of time 3 times, because we went back over the ending and then we're going to come back forward again. We also have Mars not Mars moving. We have, then Mercury that same week moves into Scorpio. So we'll have Venus and Mercury in Scorpio, the Sun in Scorpio. It's a lot of Scorpio.
Yes,
a lot of Scorpio.
And when we talk about Scorpio energy, Scorpio is really about helping us with letting go of any of the last minute things, pieces that still are lingering around. So it's there to help us let go of that. So we can move into this transformation that we really want to move into. And we have this help.
And of course, I didn't even mention in that same week, we have a solar eclipse, which is in solar eclipses, governments have issues, all kinds of things happen. But this is a solar eclipse of there's no going back. We have created, we have worked with our thoughts. And again, if we don't set the intention, our thoughts are going to take over that are underneath. And that isn't necessarily going to serve us or give us different things to be dealing with. So,
yeah. So as we always say, because you are the creator, we are the creator to our experiences. We are the creator to our stories. So take charge of what you can create now, as opposed to waiting or deciding, well, I'm not going to do it this time, because it's going to happen whether you do it or not. It's just that if you do it on your terms, it's not as painful as if you actually have all this energy and the unconsciousness decide, well, ready or not, here we come.
Right.
So I think this energy is definitely helpful, but also, again, just for our viewers, just to remember that you are the creator to your situations. You have a choice. You can make the choice of setting intention to what you would like to see unfold going forward by setting that intention, or you have the choice to decide not to set your intentions, stay where you are right now, and whatever's actually needs to unfold is going to unfold, whether you're ready for it or not. It's the old stories are really coming to an end.
Yes, they are.
It's time to really start telling yourself a different story.
Right.
Now, do you have your cards with you today, Kitty?
I do have a couple sets of cards. One, of course, Joanne's cards. I always have Joanne's cards. And then I have the Magic of You Oracle.
Excellent. So I figure what we'll do is we'll pull a couple of cards each to help our viewers out in reference to this amazing energy, in reference to what additional insights they may need to hear. And of course, with my deck, what one chakra you can work on so you can really clear the energy out. Whatever that chakra is for you, just to work on that chakra. Kitty and I participate in this amazing group called Spirit Messages and Energy Insight. And the gentleman that leads the group, Joe Mockman, he was talking about the fire within.
I'm about to say the fire within.
The fire within, and how to light your fire within, and what is your desire like. And I actually had said this to one of my clients earlier today. Where would you like more fire in your life? And perhaps this could be where you can start creating that fire. So if that fire happens to be sitting in your solar plex energy and you want to amplify it more, where you can feel more confident, more secure, bring more abundance into your energy, uh, tap into your powerhouse, because your solar plex is your power. So if that's the energy you want to attract, this is the time. This is an opportunity right now with all the energy. And then once we do move into Scorpio, to utilize this energy so you can activate that solar plex energy. This is a perfect time for that. So Kitty, what did you pull a card yet?
Yes, I did.
What
And,
card?
the thing is, we're talking about air with fire. So this is a great time to get things flowing, to spark that with how you're thinking, how you're putting your own self forward. So I got number 19, Naz, feel loved and proud. So this is part of redoing your thoughts. Where are you holding yourself back? Where are you criticizing and telling yourself you're not worthy, you're not lovable? Because that gets in the way of that fire, that passion, how you're thinking. So, what is it that you can do right now to really work on feeling loved and proud of who you are? You know, where you've come from. Just take a moment to think where you were a year ago. If you're in a better place, how did you get there? What makes it a better place? If you're not, what has changed for you? And have the way you've been approaching it, your thoughts work for you. So that would be that cup. And of course, 19 is a 10, which is a 1.
Exactly. And I love how when Kitty pulled cards and then I pull cards, and the card that I pulled piggybacks just on what Kitty just said, which is all about change. And that's exactly what it is. The change that you are either going to create on your own, or the change that you're going to be forced to create. Either way, it's coming. And the chakra here is the throat chakra, which is so aligned when we talk about the Mercury's energy in Libra right now, about being able to bring more balance to the conversations you want to have. What conversations do you want to have? And how can you shift the story you're telling yourself? Does that story you tell yourself help you activate what you want to bring in, or does that story you tell yourself block you from what you want to bring in? So the number 5 is really about the change, but it's also about utilizing this energy to bring more fun, because I find that the planets are very helpful and fun to work with. And when you can work with the planets, it can be more fun, and you gain more freedom when you actually work alongside with the planets and numerology for that matter, as opposed to going against it. Because when you go against it, you're holding on to a lot of resistance. And when we hold on to resistance, it does block our ability to be free. So just to ask yourself, in reference to in your body, become attuned to your body. Where in your body are you feeling tension? Are you feeling tight? Are you feeling stiff? And that itself could be the answer to help you clear out what you need to clear out. Just by connecting into your body, where is your body holding on to resistance? And really work on clearing that out. And the simplest thing is just movement, moving your body any which way you can, just to get that energy going. Another way of doing energy movement, not necessarily moving the body, but also tapping the body. So literally tapping. So if you're feeling tight in the chest, just tapping, getting that energy to flow. Like this morning, I found myself tapping my crown because for whatever the reasons are, I just felt the need that I had to tap on my crown. Hence that I'm wearing purple and amethyst. But that's what I needed to do. I had to tap.
Sacral.
Yeah, I had to. and just really become more tuned to like colors that you do wear. How are those colors associated with perhaps the areas in your body that might be calling your attention? So
Yes.
change things up a little bit, like I did tonight with my workout. Lord knows that was a change. It's like, whoa, my body's still like, what the heck was that all about? Okay. All right, Kitty, you're up.
All right. The next step is 35, which is an 8, which is transformation. And it's vertigo, where whatever you choose will be correct. The key is the intention in which you choose it.
Yes, yes, yes. And when we think about a key, I mean, right off the back, that tells me that, hey, there's a door that is ready to be unlocked. But in order to open that door, you have to be willing to change and walk away from another door. You got to close the other door. Otherwise, that key doesn't fit in because the other door behind you has to close.
Well, and in being an 8, it's about transformation. So a key is a tool. A key helps you do something, opens a door. A key is something that also provides security and protection. What door do you want to unlock? Was the
Yes,
other piece of that. So,
I love that. And when we talk about the changes and we talk about unlocking doors and all this energy we have going on, new relationship, the new relationship you have with self, because as you do undergo these changes, as you do change your story and you start to enlist a new story, that's a new relationship with self. And 2 and 8 is 10, and that's wrapped up nicely in our Capricorn energy with Pluto, which has gone direct, and it's
hmm?
helping us really tap into who we are in regards to our soul's purpose, the work that we came here to do, and recognizing everything that you have achieved. And as Kitty said earlier, once Jupiter sort of steps back into Pisces, we're going to have an opportunity to really reflect on the last 12 years, which gives you an opportunity to really reflect on how much have you achieved in the last 12 years? What has changed for you? And perhaps what hasn't changed, and do you want there to be a change? So that 10 energy is just that. Root chakra. Root chakra is extremely important when we're in the process of shifts. We have to ground our energy enough so we can focus on the direction we want to go in, as opposed to focusing on all the things that's going on around us that may not be in alignment to your desires, the way you think it should be. So focus, so ground your energy. What I'm hearing, what I'm seeing, which is weird because something I would never do, but I know it's really good for us. Take your hands, get outside, and stick your hands in dirt. And the only reason why I would never do it is because I don't like to be dirty. Which is the funniest thing. I've always had that, like, OCD when I was younger. So if I was dirty, I had to come in and wash up very quickly. So sticking my hands in dirt, even though, yes, that's a really great thing to do for grounding, and I might actually have to go do it. I'm gonna have to go find some really nice dirt that I know is clean. And dig my hands in just to get that grounding energy going on, and also your feet too. Get your feet into the dirt, into earth, to ground. Considering we do have a lot of air signs right now, some fire signs going on, a little bit of earth signs because we do have the Taurus energy and um
We have Uranus and Taurus, which is always grounding us in reality.
there you go. So we do definitely do have some earth energy going on to keep us grounded. But remind yourself that it's important to stay grounded. Otherwise, we get a little lost into our fairyland, is what I just heard. Fairyland.
Yeah.
So we want to ground ourselves. Love that. You have another one for us, Kitty?
Yes. So what came actually kind of right immediately after was 32, tangibility. Make your dreams real.
Ooh, I love
And
that.
so that's about that intention setting. We did have Pluto go direct. Pluto is in Capricorn, so it's in structure. And so it is about being very tangible what your dreams are and retraining your thoughts to meet them. Taking that tangibility, what you were just talking about, grounding, and making it real, making your dreams real, also is about how do I think about this? How do I bring this energy forward? And it isn't about beating yourself up either. Like when you say, oh, you have the little voice that goes in, it's like, no, thank you. I know you're warning me, but really, this is a great time for reprogramming those thoughts.
Yes. And I love, again, how when Kitty pulls a card, mine follows right through. Listen and truth, which is what Kitty was talking about before in reference to the stories we tell ourselves, or like the dishonesty, not that we're lying, but sometimes we tell ourselves a story just so we can sort of feel okay where we are. It may not be the truthful story, but it keeps us in a comfortable space where we don't feel guilty about what we're doing or where we are. But this is a time to really pay attention and speak your truth and listen. Listen to the internal voice, the guidance. Drop it into your solar plex energy so you can feel more secure with the changes that are coming in. And there we're back into that 3 energy, that Mercury Libra energy in reference to the balance, bringing more balance into your mind, body, and spirit as you learn to really listen and speak your truth. Be truthful
Mm-hmm.
to yourself. Because again, what I'm hearing really loud and clear, if you want people to be truthful to you, you must show up and be truthful to yourself. So if you are telling yourself a story that isn't quite the truth, shift that energy, and then you'll start to see that the others around you will start to be able to be more truthful and transparent in the conversations they share. Love that. Love that.
I
Kitty,
do too.
you want to end it with another thought?
Um, yeah, let's see. I'm going to kind of really set the intention, just like what I'm talking about. Set that intention for something that really this week can help with the energy, because I'm sure we'll be on before that next thing. Let's see. Well, that was funny. My other phone started speaking. Huh. Um, Panacea. There is a solution to every problem. And boy, in this week of thinking and redoing how we speak, there's a great thing. There's a solution to every problem. It's 23, a second 5 that we've gotten tonight.
Actually, the
And
third. That was the third
yeah,
5.
that
Yeah.
was the third 5 we got
Yeah.
tonight.
Yes.
And, it's, it can it is about how we're thinking. This is air. How do we think? How do we problem solve? And believing, because with Libra, we're looking for balance. There's a solution. We can figure this out. So,
Yes.
perfect.
And I have to show this. The last card in the deck, which is in reverse.
44.
14.
Oh, 14, sorry.
That's okay. 14, which brings us back to a 5 again.
There we go.
And now freedom. Because you do free yourself up when you can speak your truth, when you are willing to make changes, when you can recognize that every problem has a solution. And,
That's right.
and recognizing that your problem is not a problem, it's a lesson. And if we can actually shift that energy, that word problem, into a more higher frequency of a lesson, whatever that is, it's just a lesson for us to learn something and to bring us into our freedom. And again, grounding, 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 grounding. So I love it. So I love it. Yeah. So we have a lot of energy going on, and Kitty and I, of course, will be back again,
I'm
probably
sure.
in another week and a half, because we will be moving into Scorpio season, and I keep hearing
One of my favorites.
yes, because it's your birthday month.
Yeah.
Yes, and I keep hearing that Scorpio season is going to be a wild ride.
Yeah.
I keep hearing the
There's
wild ride.
all Yeah, and not Mr. Toad's Wild Ride either, in Disney. Yeah, there is that. Oh, in October got big, and surrounded it because it also was Scorpio, and it's from getting things ready and balanced so that we can dive into that transformation. And I mean, we have a full moon where we have a full lunar eclipse in Taurus. In that during that Scorpio time, it happens to also be election. So there's a lot of stuff going on in the bigger world too.
Yes, yes, yes. So yes, so again, give yourself grace, give yourself peace, kindness, send it out, compassion to everybody, because every one of us are learning a lesson of some sort. Whether you want to use the word lesson or problem, whatever it might be, we're all learning something. So just send out compassion. When you go to bed at night, just send out that light of compassion. When you wake up in the morning, send out that light of compassion. And if we all do that, we will all start to feel more compassion coming through. That will also make this energy a little easier to work through.
There's that setting of intention. It's not completely clear. It's a little bit, clarity is a little hard right now. So that's why setting your intention allows you some more magic, I would say, at this time. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And understanding too that when you set the intention, know that you are the co-creator. So whatever your intention is, even if it doesn't manifest right now, it just means that there's something else that's supposed to come through for you at the moment. But continue to stay focused on that intention, because if it serves your purpose, it will eventually manifest. It just may not manifest in your timeline to when you want it to manifest, but will manifest if it serves your purpose. And that's really the big thing that we have to understand. I know for me, it took me a really long time to understand that, in reference like thinking, oh, well, I can set my intentions, I'll write it out, blah, blah, blah. But if it doesn't serve my higher purpose, it may not manifest. And that's okay. And I mean, I guess that's a good thing, because if it doesn't serve our higher purpose, there's no reason for it.
Right. So, very much.
Kitty, how can they reach you?
You may reach me at Intuition of the Soul on Facebook. It's a free group, or you may write Intuition of the Soul. There it is going across the bottom, Intuition of the Soul 11 at gmail.com, and send me a message.
There you go. And you all know how to reach me. And if you need to send me an email of such, feel free, healingwithin76@gmail.com. We both look forward to seeing you all next time when we decide to get together to play, because that's what Kitty and I do. We share insight with you, but her and I have fun doing this, so it's playful.
We do.
So
it's a good woo-woo time for us.
Yes, it is. It allows the two of us to, believe it or not, come down and relax and have some fun.
Have some fun. So, thank you.
Now, everyone, have a good night.